Hi, this is Alex Kitt here. I want to show you a new feature I built into my BeamNG Tools for Mapbuilders, and it's all about copying or replacing terrain materials. So the idea is you're working on a map, and you need some new materials, and you want to copy them over from another map. You can do this with the tool, or you have chosen some material which you don't like anymore, and you want to replace it with a better, more decent material from another map. Very often the first decisions aren't the best, so you can fix it with my tool, or you can do some funny stuff like making Johnson Valley a winter map with snow and ice. And this is what we are doing now. So how do you get the tool up and running? You go to my GitHub page, which is linked in the video, or can be found in the BeamNG forums as well. The link will always also be in the video description. You just go to the releases page here. You see the release, the most actual release. You just click on it. You have a description what changed. And underneath, under assets, you find the BeamNG level cleanup zip file, which you have to download. I did it already, of course. And you just have to unpack the zip file. And here, my test mapping tools, I unzipped it. And you just have to click on the exe. So I put it on the right side of the monitor. I hope you have a good resolution while watching this video, because I do it on my big screen and I'm not willing to do it on a on a small resolution, because it's easier for me to show everything. So I hope you don't mind. At least it should be uploaded in a good resolution, 4K resolution as well. So I have BeamNG open as well. So what we do first, we go to this new feature, copy terrain materials. So here you first have to choose the source map you want to copy materials from. So since I said we want to use Johnson Valley as a target, and we want to make Johnson Valley a snow map, we choose automation test track, because on automation test track we have snow and we have ice material. So now copied from the BeamNG content directory. Of course, you can choose here with this file thing a mod map or whatever map you want to use instead of the vanilla maps. So then we go to the target map. I said we want to do Johnson Valley. I select it. It's copied and unzipped as well, because I need it unzipped. And now the UI is popping up. So what you see here on the list is this are the materials, the terrain materials from automation test track. Since I said we want to first replace materials like snow and ice, I do this first, and then we add some grass to show you how just the adding new material works. So I go to the ice thing, and my idea is to exchange or replace all the asphalt material in Johnson Valley with an icy road. So I say, okay, I want to do something with this ice material from automation test track. As you know, it's if you start painting in a vanilla map, you very often have funky colors beneath and not the colors you want to have while painting. It's because of all this PBR stuff. There are big base texture materials in BeamNG where all the surfaces are combined in one image for the whole map, and therefore you have problems in painting. So what I do is I just generate a kind of fake material, base material texture, base color texture, so that we can paint in the dedicated color. Of course, I put something here as a default. It's gray, and gray is not the perfect color for ice. So you just click on the color here, and we search a good color for ice. It must be greenish bluish. It's very nice. Not to use just plain white. It doesn't look that good. So we go a bit here in this direction with the color. Then we have a second, another column here with a preset for the roughness of this material, because it's very important that you choose the right roughness. If you want to have an icy road, it must be more shiny. If you have something else like dirt, it must be more rough. So here the preset allocation, because I did a small algorithm which tries to get it out of the name of the material. Ice I don't have in, so can go here and can say wet surface would be nice. Okay, it's a roughness of 40. I even want to have it more shiny, so you can go to custom here. And then you have the slider. And you see you can go from very rough, 255. It makes more or less uh, the color of the texture for roughness, yes. Or you go to the small value, it's very shiny. So I take something about 20. I think that's shiny enough for ice. And we just don't want to add the material to Johnson Valley, but we want to replace materials. As I told you, I want to have all the asphalt materials to get ice. So we open the drop down here and search all the asphalt materials. So we replace asphalt, replace asphalt 2, and there's a third one. Here it's the ground model asphalt. I replace it too. So this is it with asphalt. And then we have this snow material here. I click it and snow. Here, as an advice, don't take white as well, because white isn't that good. Quite nice to have it more in a kind of a little bit of purple. So just looks better. So we go here. It's not too purple, yes, but a little bit like this. So wet surface is okay for snow. And here we replace a lot. So I only don't replace the dirt because I want the dirt roads to come out of the snow a bit, because sometimes people drive over it. It's not everything is snowy. So we start with all the other stuff we didn't have chosen already for asphalt and ice. So let's take a look a bit. Dirt, sandy, grass, grass. Here's the asphalt. We don't replace that. Rocky dirt and the sand. So, okay. And of course, I want to show you how the add feature works. So we just want to add some green grass, which doesn't make sense in winter, but it doesn't matter. Just for the tutorial. So I say I want all this grass stuff. So, okay. And even here, we of course, we have to change the color as well. We could decide, for example, for using a bit of greenish, like this. Here as well. Take a bit of green. Don't know if it's working right, but what you can do later on, because it just generates this texture files, you can, it's a PNG with plain this color we selected here. You can exchange the color there and make experiments without using this tool. You just need a paint program or whatever. Here we could try how it looks like if we use a more brownish tone for other grass. So would be better, I guess, in desert scenarios. So I don't know which color exactly is good, but it doesn't matter. So here the grass presets are okay. And here in the mold, we don't have to do anything because we just want to add this material. So we selected the grass for adding the material, and for ice, we replace, and for snow, we replace materials. So that's it, what you have to do here. Now we just press copy terrain materials, and it starts copying all this stuff together, changing the JSON files, taking care of all the ground cover materials like grass, all the things which are moving, on the terrain, and copies it together. So now what you could do here, we are done now, nothing happens anymore. You could build a zip file just to deploy it now, but it would be deployed with the name Johnson Valley. So we would more or less overwrite Johnson Valley. We don't want to do that. Therefore, we go to the rename map feature. My tool knows that we did something with Johnson Valley, and it's still in memory or in focus of the app. So we can just rename what we did here. So take this, Johnson Valley, and you say Snowy Johnson Valley. I add this underscore in front, so that's in the top of the list. You have these two fields here because the first one is the one for the replacement in the file paths into JSON files. Yes, here, for example, you shouldn't use special chars or spaces or something like that. And the second field is really the name of the map shown in the map selector. So you could type whatever you want, but I leave it the same. It doesn't matter. So I just rename the level very fast because it just find and replace over a lot of text files. So did it. And now here again, you could build now a zip file with this new map name, but I want to test it immediately. So I can press this copy to BeamNG levels folder. And this is the levels folder in the user folder of your BeamNG directory. So that is the folder for example, if I make maps, I have my project there. Nothing happens with it. Yes, it's not deleted by cache cleaning or something like that. So you can put it there and work on it. So press the button, level Snowy Johnson Valley successfully copied. See if I take a look here at this new current folder of BeamNG in your local. I went to the levels folder and you see Snowy Johnson Valley is there. So we can take a look if it really works. So we go to free roam. Here's Snowy Johnson Valley. Click on it. And let's start at the base camp. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. And we load it. Yeah, BeamNG is really fun. I'm working on my map project for, I don't know, 3 years right now. And I'm procrastinating a bit programming this tool because sometimes you sit in front of your map project and you don't know how to proceed further. So then you have to make a break and do something else. You see, we have some snow in Johnson Valley. And you see that it's a nice idea to leave the dirt roads alone so that you have this effect. Let me drive a bit around. I want to go out and take a look at the icy road. If I find the way out, I guess it's here. Ah, yes, and you see the shimmering of the icy road in the back. Oh God, where is it? I have to go here? I think so. And the nice thing here in Johnson Valley is at some point the snow is very deep because it was sand before, and there's a depth map here in Johnson Valley, which makes the snow very deep. And you see here, the road is really icy. So it's working well. And so by accident, changing the terrains with all the decals, it works really good. You see, you can still see that it's a road. And if you take a look here at the deep snow, let's try it here. I guess here's a good point. I told you about the depth map, and you see, car's really going really deep into the snow, so it's really quite okay. So this feeling, and what I really like is with this dirt roads, of course. Perhaps if you want to really make it good, you need some decal roads, road edges and stuff like that. But with the dirt roads, sometimes you have snow because it's mixed terrain in the original level. Yes. So and at some points here it's getting completely snowy and it really looks good. So without doing too much stuff, you see 5 minutes and you have a snow map. And what I want to show you, of course, is we added some materials. Yes, smaller. So we added some materials and we want to check if this worked too. You remember all these grass materials here. See, you have to add them, of course. They are in the library if you copy, but they are not added to the terrain. So we do it here. And now we test if it works. You see, grass is green. The other grass looks almost the same, but it's other grass. So grass 4, we have different grass. You see it's a more brownish paint color underneath. This is what I mean with this changing the color in my tool. See, it works well. So copying materials is really easy. You could do it, of course, manually and changing all the JSON files, copying the files, taking care for the path, taking care for the ground covers, which are in the mission groups. So it's a bit of work to do, especially if you replace materials. You must be really checking how this ground cover thing works in the vegetation, in this vegetation JSON file. And you really must be very concentrated to do it manually. So therefore, this was the idea to make this tool. So this was one thing I wanted to show you. Now there are people outside having no idea how things work, and they start with this template map. And the template map in BeamNG, you know, which you only see if you put on this debug content. I'll show you first. Wait a moment. So let's take a look. We go to free roam. And if you say here underneath include auxiliary debug content, you see this template level. So go inside this template level. And this template level, you have only 2 materials. And the problem is that these materials are not PBR materials. It's the old material system. And what I show you now works for all old maps without PBR materials. We can convert this level into a PBR terrain level with my tool and just replace the non-PBR materials with PBR materials from other maps. Let's do that now. I take, what's good here? We have beach sand. Let's take, I guess Jungle Rock would work quite well. I take Jungle Rock Island, which was, by the way, the first level converted to PBR in BeamNG. And as target level, we take this template map. The good thing, if you use the template map in my tool, it will automatically remove this auxiliary debug thingy so that it's always visible. But what my tool sees now is that this template map isn't PBR and asks you if you want to convert it to PBR or upgrade it to PBR. But it says then it makes sense that you replace the materials. So we say yes, upgrade to PBR. And we have only 2 materials here, the speed sand and grass. So I would say we will replace the beach sand by beach sand. Beach sand color. Yeah, this is not that easy. Beach sand color, something yellowish, perhaps something like this could work. Dirt road, sand. I think it's sand is not very shiny. It's more rough. I don't know exactly. I'll leave it dirt road. I think it's okay. So, and we want to replace the beach sand. Now we have the grass. We take the nice grass too. I don't know if it's nice. I take grass too. We'll see. We make it a bit green. Perhaps green. I don't know exactly. Something like this. Yeah. As I told you, you can change it. So, and we say we want to replace the grass. And since we only have two materials here and we want some roads, we copy at least one asphalt thingy here. Don't we have this? There must be asphalt somewhere. Where's asphalt? Eh? Am I blind? Ah, there's asphalt. Okay, you see at the search here, and you can search. We want to replace asphalt, but make it a bit darker, like this. Okay, asphalt, we added as new material. And of course, we need some dirt loose and dirt rocky. Dirt loose, perhaps. Dirt loose is more on the brownish side, perhaps like this. And we want to have normal for dirt roads, dirt. I don't know exactly, like this. Forest is so important now, but we need mud. Mud is very important. What would be alive without mud? Take this one. So should be enough for now. I say copy terrain materials again. Tool does its magic. Done as it's copied. Okay, we can go to the rename map thing again, and we say call it template PBR. Rename the level. You see, set auxiliary to false in info.json so that it's always visible. Should be done already, and then we can say copy to BeamNG levels folder. And we take a look. Template PBR is here. And I hope it worked. Yes, we have different sand. It's immediately visible. You see? And we have the grass from Jungle Rock Island. See how easy it is to convert it. What it does is if you take a look at the terrain, it just adds this material texture set, which is not available in non-PBR maps. It does it, of course, in the material JSON as well for terrain material. And here you see all the new vegetation and all the new ground covers which are copied, and all the copies are suffixed by the name of the level we copied from, so that you have an overview what really happened there. And if you would mix it with other maps, you could copy, of course, terrains from different maps in 2 or 3 cycles using the software. Then, of course, you have to zip it before. Otherwise, my tool doesn't allow it to use it, because I don't really like to let people work on their unzipped directories. It's so important that you don't destroy your project with a third-party tool like mine. So therefore, I force you to zip it before. This is the reason why I did it. Okay, you see this works well. We wanted to test if if the other materials are there. So you see we have the ground model asphalt, the dirt, the mud, the dirt loose. Happy painting. Let's take a look if it works. Here, let's start with the asphalt. Yes, we can build nice roads now here. We have dirt working well. We have the mud and we have the dirt loose. You see, it's quite easy to update your old non-PBR materials, or if you're working with a template map and you're quite happy with it and you want to extend the functionality and the terrains, just use my tool. Okay, what's quite nice about the rename map feature, this is not directly related to this material thing, is that if you're a newbie in BeamNG, what newbies very often do, they start changing maps like, let's say, East Coast, and want to make it their custom map. So let's say people start doing things with a map. Painting terrain. I just do something now. It doesn't matter. I put some grass on the road, which completely makes no sense. And perhaps, I don't know. I think this painting stuff is enough to show you. You could do everything now. Building houses, whatever, bridges, making the map somehow larger. There are so many East Coast mods out there. So you did it, you saved it, but now you have no clue how to make it your own map. Yes, because what happens if you save something and you change something, not really the main level of East Coast is changed because you would destroy the main game if you could do it that easily. What the system does is here in our folder, I told you in this current levels folder, in your user folder, it just makes a new East Coast USA folder with all the changes you did here. And the game then loads the normal East Coast map, which is unchanged, and puts all these changes over and loads it later on so that you see your changes. But of course, you never can run it besides the unchanged East Coast because it's named the same. It will always look like the way you changed it. So what you can do now in my tool, if you go to rename map, for example, yes, and you search East Coast USA, my tool sees that there are changes in this folder here. And it asks you, before renaming, should it incorporate these changes into the newly made zip with a new name? We say, yes, we want to do that. And we want to call it, now it has the name here. And we want to call it East Coast Alex. So we rename the level. And now if really you have a completely standalone level with all the files from East Coast incorporated with your files and can give it to certain people and they can run it without having problems. So you could build here your zip file now, your mod file. Yes, but I, for testing, use this button to copy it to the levels folder again. So now you see here we have East Coast Alex. And if we go to BeamNG, free roam. So we should somewhere here, we have East Coast Alex level with the changes we just made. Completely standalone. So it's quite easy to change vanilla maps or even other mod maps. So it's not only that it works with vanilla maps, but if you start change a modded map, same happens. All the changes of this modded map will run to this levels folder. And if you select, then you would select, of course, this modded map differently. You would say select files here, and then you would search the name of your mod changed and would do the same thing, and it would detect your changes and you could make it your own map then. You see, all my grass changes are there. And if you want to revert your East Coast again, because East Coast now has its flowers too, because of this folder here, this one, without any, this was our first change. You just have to delete this folder and then your East Coast looks like it was before. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show you the tool. I hope it can help you making your life easier, modding maps. If you have ideas for new features and stuff like that, just write to me in the forums. I'm happy to hear from you. If you have problems, it's not running, not starting correctly, just leave a message there. I will take a look into it. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Bye-bye.